Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how was DC? I heard y'all have
These
some weather.
we're having what?
You had some weather?
Yeah. I mean, like every part of the world, we do have weather. And the weather here was actually pretty rainy last week during the week, but the
Yeah.
weekend was nice, actually. I was able to go visit the local pool I made in my backyard and
Oh,
take it easy.
nice. Can't beat it.
No, not at all. So it's good. How about you guys?
Yeah, weather was good this weekend, but yesterday we had really bad storm and my power ain't flickered, but power down some of these stores, they were out but let me tell you, so I went to get some wine from the liquor store, right? And I said it was black, like the convenience store was black. They had that line out there and they would go get what you want and they took Cash App.
Wow.
They came prepared for something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, well, if anything, the pandemic has taught us is, be
Right.
prepared to sell whatever you can.
I said, what's this line? They said, just tell us you what, we'll get it. Here's our Cash App.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so. But anyway, I'll let y'all take away movie reviews.
Sure thing. So I actually didn't get a chance to check out the latest and greatest, but I know Chike will tell us all about The Flash when his time comes. So I'm excited to hear about that. But I did check a couple of series out, and one is actually the latest in the long list of Marvel TV shows. But this one stars Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, and it's called Secret Invasion, and it just came out. And this story is part of Marvel's Phase 5 of whatever they're doing with their cinematic universe. And Nick Fury is back on Earth. We don't know why he wasn't on Earth. He was on some space station, it sounds like, but I'm sure we'll learn more as we go along the way. But in this series, he's going to be hunting Skrulls. And if anyone remembers Captain Marvel, the Skrulls were the people who can change their appearance to look like anyone, and so he is on a mission to find a terrorist cell of Skrulls that want to cause some mayhem on Earth, because instead of finding a new home, like we learned in Captain Marvel, these Skrulls want to make Earth their home. So it's going to be kind of seems like a fun spy type adventure where you don't know who's really who's changing into what. But so far, it's fun. It's on par with kind of the traditional TV shows that Marvel has been putting out. I think it's a little better. Mainly, I think the strength is Samuel L. Jackson bringing to the role. I mean, he is looking old, but he still does a great job. He has that on-screen presence. And it'll be something interesting to keep watching, especially with kind of the way they're doing the multiverse. I think we're getting a lot of multiverse going on, so it's good to kind of shift away from that. And even though the Skrulls can turn into anything, leaving you guessing for more, I think it's a little bit better than kind of having the multiple universes. And then the other show I'm watching is, of course, season 2 of The Bear. And I don't remember if either of you have seen the first season of The Bear, but it's about this Chicago sandwich shop. This chef comes back to take over this sandwich shop that his brother passed away, and so he's taking over, and he used to work at a highly acclaimed Michelin star restaurant. So now he came back and he was helping out the restaurant, and the series is really good. It actually ended in a way that they didn't need to do another season, but as we know with anything that's popular, money talks, and so they produced a second season. This season, they have some money back, and now they're trying to rebrand this sandwich shop as a better restaurant than what it is. But season 1 was so good. This season is good so far. I'm a few episodes in, but if you're looking for something, and Hulu released them all at once, so you can binge watch the whole season, then check out The Bear. Really big fan. And that's it for me on TV shows. I will make also point out one more thing. Into the Spider-Verse, the Spider-Man animated feature, is back at the #1 spot over the weekend. And it seems to be just all around good time. People are loving this movie. And we've also learned that there are different versions of the movie out. There's only been confirmed at least 2 versions, but they have made multiple versions of the movie that appears in different theaters. So I don't know if that helped it get back to the number one spot. But I think that's a really cool feature. If you're going to do a multiverse and you're going to do such a good movie, it's nice to know you can go back and see if you can catch something different the next time you go see it.
That's a good gotcha, Marvel. My hat's off to you. DC,
Yeah,
you need to pay attention.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I have a question about The Bear. So
Mhm.
are there the same producers that did Shameless? Because it has the same kind of texture to it.
That's a good question. I've actually never seen Shameless,
Okay.
so I can't tell you. I know it's the same guy, the main actor
Yeah.
is the same guy that was in Shameless, so there's
Mhm.
probably a little bit of overlap, but yeah, I couldn't say for sure.
Okay. All right. So I saw The Flash starring Ezra Miller, Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, and George Clooney. If you have not seen the film, you might not want to listen to what I'm going to talk about because I'm going to be spoiling all over the place. So I did some reading and some research, and I found out that the movie sequence had got changed. Flash was supposed to be the last movie, and Aquaman was supposed to come before,
Mm,
and the Blue Beetle was supposed to come after Aquaman.
mm.
But all of that got rearranged. The Flash got moved up, Aquaman got pushed back, and it had to do with the writer's strike and also COVID. Both affected the schedules. After knowing that, seeing the Flash, it would have been better received if it was the last movie
Mm,
after Aquaman.
mhm.
Because technically, Blue Beetle starts the brand new cycle. It starts everything over again. So I will say that the Flash movie I thought was stupendous. The whole premise of having time and a multiverse with different dimensions happening, that means that the story can go any place. They could make it up on the fly if they wanted to, just
Mhm.
because. And I just thought it was so cool how they messed with the past storylines of the Batman and Justice League and the history of Superman. I mean, I don't want to tell you too much stuff, but they went all the way back,
Yeah, yeah,
all
I
the way
heard.
back. And it was just such like my heart got warm a little bit because that was my childhood. I
Yep.
was like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And so technically this was supposed to be everyone that's involved in that universe's last movie for this cycle of DC because
Mhm.
they're starting with all new actors. Um, so it being placed where it is, it's kind of a bummer because now
Yeah.
you're going to get this Aquaman movie and it's going to be out of place. We're going to get it and you're going to watch it. You may even fall in love with it, but it has no place
Yeah, I
because the
feel like
universe is starting over.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. What's the point of watching Aquaman when you know that everything's being reset?
right. But they have to recoup their money.
Yeah.
But it was a great story. There was great utilization of the past storylines and certain characters. Great usage. I give it thumbs up. Go check it out to see,
One
especially if you're a fan of DC.
yeah, one thing I've heard is, and I guess the directors kind of tried to defend it, is some of the CGI is kind of off, and he said that
It
was
looks
intentional, but
CGI-ish.
okay.
It looks CGI-ish, but I could forgive it. I could
Okay.
forgive it. I mean, I've watched The Matrix and seen some things, but I can forgive it. I can
Okay.
forgive.
So it doesn't throw
Yeah.
you off. It doesn't take
No,
away from
no,
your watching.
not to
Perfect.
me. No. So the next film that I saw was Evil Dead Rise. If anyone is a fan of the Evil Dead, the old cult classic that they remade, and I guess they're going in tradition of the old Evil Dead movies, but the premises have changed. So like the locations of where the possessions happen have changed, but it's following the cycle of the Evil Dead storyline. Um, I thought that it really hung in there with the brand. It's a standalone
Nice.
movie, but you want to see the series. It has those moments like the old Evil Dead where some moments are actually funny instead of scary. But
Hmm.
then they get you with the gross stuff.
Yeah.
That's the
Signature.
pathology of Evil Dead.
Yep.
Gross and scary and sometimes funny and absurd. Yeah, because it gets really absurd. But definitely, I appreciate it. Check it out. It wouldn't be a great movie movie for me, like going to the theater. I probably wouldn't do that. The Flash, I would go to the theater to see, but not this. And the rest are series. I don't know what you're watching on TV. Um, Black Mirror, and just like that is the new season. Star Trek, brand new Star Trek, Strange New Worlds on Paramount. That's pretty good. I like that.
I've heard good things about it. Yeah.
Yeah. This new series called I'm a Virgo by Boots Rollins. If you do not know who Boots Rollins is, please check out some of his art. He's the same guy that made Sorry to Bother You.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little quirky, kind of reminds you of like the Atlanta show a little bit, but he's a little bit quirkier.
Okay.
The Righteous Gemstones on Max, and The Idol on Max. That very adult show that no children should watch.
It's been getting awful reviews, but yeah.
I don't know. I'm giving it a chance.
Okay. I've heard there's no chemistry with the leads. The writing's
It's
bad.
the most popular show on the most popular on there.
What do you mean?
They're saying how I think they were saying about how the ratings are so high on that show.
Who's saying that?
I saw an article the other day.
So you know what it gives me?
That a Boss-Up article?
And I know why it gives me this now. It's because it's the same producers. I just thought about it. It gives me that the temperature of Euphoria. It's not quite as good as Euphoria, but it gives you that temperature. It's because it's the same producers.
Yeah. Well, I did watch a movie yesterday, and Adam's gonna laugh because it's the perfect find on Netflix. And the only reason why I watched is because someone said it's everything you think it's gonna be.
Of course.
And so it features Gabrielle Union, Keith Powers, Lala Anthony's in there, Aisha Hens, and some other people. But it's very like, you know exactly what it is.
Paint by numbers, one of those things where you know exactly where
You know exactly where this thing is going. But the only thing is the ending is it just leaves you like, oh, that's how we end? Okay. Anyway, so I watched that. But it's a quick hour, 30-minute movie.
Nice.
You know, I was talking most of the time, so you know. But anyways,
it's a roll.
You're right. But so I love the series on Netflix called Selling Sunset. It's with the real estate agent, you know, they deal with millionaires and billionaires, you know, the real estate. I just love seeing how people, and you got some money, how you can live. And so it's interesting. So this season, Nick Cannon, one of his baby mamas, she's joined the cast. And she recently got into real estate, but she's been successful in it, and she knows a lot of people. So she has billion-dollar clients and a lot of people in the industry and things like that. And so, you know, she's had the baby's less than a year old or whatever. And so there's someone on the cast, I think, joined last year, and she's because most of the women are white women, but they have diversified it, you know, throughout since it's been picked up. So there's one woman, she's from London or something, you know, she's a Black woman. And so, you know, Nick Cannon's child's mom, I don't know what she is. She's mixed with, you know, I don't know what she's mixed with. But anyway, but the Black girl really has a problem with the way her relationship is. Like, 'cause she says, she calls Nick Cannon my man. She says they have an open relationship. I don't care if I'm having other kids. Apparently they had all gone out. And that's when the tabloids hit that he just had another child, and she had no idea that anyone was even pregnant. And so, you know, anyway, it was interesting, but it was kind of like, okay, you said what you had to say. You don't agree with this, but why you keep talking about it? You know what I mean? And so anyway, but it's actually a really good series. But I really love it for the homes, because you have money, you can see how people can really, really live.
Mm-hmm.
And you see these homes, you're thinking, I know they have to have a staff. You know, the homes are so huge. But yeah, that was good. I think it was 12 episodes, 10 or 12 episodes, but I watched it maybe in 3 days. I didn't even know it was out. I just was going through Netflix for something. I said, oh, new season. But let's show you what I watch. But
yep.
But yeah, that's all for me. Anything coming out of the pipeline?
Yeah, so a couple things on my pipeline. I know I talk about it like every week, but Indiana Jones, I am going to check it out. I just got to see how it goes and how it ends. And it seems to be kind of the big like lead up to July 4th release. And then also Witcher season 3 releases this week. So this is Henry Cavill's last ride as The Witcher. They'll replace him in season 4, but I'm a big fan of the series. I know some people liked it, some people didn't like it as much, but that kind of fantasy swords and sorcery world is always fun.
Yeah. I missed the opening of The Blackening. I wanted to check that out just to see what it was about. I was curious.
Did it already come out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it already came out.
Okay.
Definitely Blue Beetle, Mission Impossible, because it is my belief that Tom Cruise does not put out any bad movies. I have not seen a bad Tom Cruise movie. Indiana Jones, of course.
Adam's thinking.
I'm thinking, I don't know. You're right. You might be right. I mean, I haven't seen all of his movies, so I can't tell you. But yeah, he does good work.
Yeah. And the Meg. They're doing the Meg too.
Nice. Well, guys, as always, thank you for letting us spend our time and our money on. My picks are always the best. And
of course.
Hope you have a great summer break, and we will see you in September.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Right back after this.